Hey guys, Horror Man again, back for another review. Today we're going to go ahead and take a look at the brand new Freddy Krueger from Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. Now this is based off the Mego style line that's put out by NECA, and this just came out maybe last week in most stores, and some stores just received it this week. I happened to pick this one up at FYE, and it's about $29.99. So this is the second figure that NECA's done from Freddy's Revenge, and the other version was the 7-inch figure, which we'll go ahead and look at in a minute. So let's go ahead and take a look at this one in particular. You can see the art is inspired by the classic toy lines of the 70s, and it has the original art, and this one is done by Nathan Miller. Has his name down here in the corner right here, right above NECA and Real Toys. And he comes in that resealable clamshell packaging that we've seen all the other figures have. And then you can see he has a few accessories in here. And then if you flip over to the back, sorry about the price tag, you can kind of see the picture of Freddy on the top right, and then there's also one on the bottom left that says features interchangeable head and hand, and then there's also a little bio right here. If you want to go ahead and pause the video, you can read that, and that's just a little description of Freddy's Revenge, just basically the basis for the movie. Alright, so here's Freddy out of the packaging, and he looks awesome. I mean, he really looks great. You can see he's definitely got the Freddy's Revenge look going on here. He's got that real grimacing face. They had a little bit different makeup from the first one to the second one, but equally as creepy. Now, if you remember the first Freddy that they made in this style, I don't have it, but I do have the packaging of the one that came with the Jason. Now, if you look at these two figures side by side, you can see that there's a huge difference in the sweater. They've done a much better job. You can see how much thicker the stripes are. There's only like, what, 3 green stripes. I know the sweater changed a little bit, but it didn't look quite like this original release. And then he's got that thick collar, and even the facial sculpt isn't really my favorite. Freddy's a tough sculpt to do, because you're trying to get a likeness of not only the character but the actor. Robert Englund's face like completely shows through in this new sculpt. So I'm really happy to see that they've gone with the same sculpt they had with their previous release, but they've definitely refined it and gave it some better paint. My only gripe is with it still is that the sweater still gets a little bit bunchy. I mean, it's definitely worlds beyond that first one, but it's still just a little thick when you're doing like your arms kind of close together to your body here. You can kind of see a little bit of clumping here, but it's really not that bad. I like how it's kind of frayed and torn. It's nice that it doesn't look like a new fresh sweater like the first one did. And I honestly passed on the first one because I really didn't like the look of it. So I'm really happy to see that they've completely refined this, and like many have said, the more of these Mego style they come out with, the better they get. So let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories first. So you're going to get a few accessories here. The first one is going to be this amazing interchangeable head. Now again, they did this release with the 7-inch. They did the same exact head, but you can kind of see the paint on it's a little bit better. And you can see like the brain kind of coming out of here, where he peels the skin off. And you can see he's kind of got that real wrinkled face with the burns. And then you can see that big old tongue sticking out. And then again on this side, you don't have as much wear on the head. That's not the part where he peeled it off. But it's just, oh god, it's such a great sculpt. Really nice. And then you also have the kind of bladed hand, which is really nice. Definitely authentic to the movie. And then of course his signature fedora hat, which almost looks like fabric, but it's not. And it's kind of got this like slightly flexible material, but it's fairly hard. So it's not quite as flexible as some of the ones in the past. So as far as articulation goes, it's pretty much the same that we're used to. The body has changed since the original Freddy, but for the most part, you're still getting about the same amount of movement. So both the arms can go completely down. He's got a decent amount of head movement. You can get a little bit of a tilt in there, which is really nice. And then, like I said, you can get full movement on that. Not much looking down or up. More down than up, anyway. And then you have movement here at the shoulder, at the elbow, and then of course the wrist articulation. And then you have some, there's no ab crunch, but it does twist. And then you have your articulation on the leg. Get a pretty good amount of kick. It's not much of a high kicker. And then you have your knee articulation. And there really isn't anything at the feet. He does have up and down movement, but you really can't twist his ankles or anything like that. But you can still get him in a good amount of poses. And then you can put his fedora on here and really show that sculpt off. Let's see here. Tight fit. There we go. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and pop that other head on and take a look at that one. Alright, so here he is with the alternate head sculpt, and this is a really good look. This is probably my more favorite head sculpt. This other one's really nice. It gives you more of like the classic Freddy grimace, and you really see the teeth and everything in there. But this one is just scary. Really good Freddy figure. I think it's really comparable, if not better, than some of the old sideshows, if you guys collected those from back in the day. It's a really nice kind of take that NECA has on these Mego styles. You know, the sweater being a little bit big, it kind of does reflect the older Mego figures, so I don't know if they're going to do anything different on that. I know some people kind of complained about it, but you know, this is definitely still far better than the original release. So they're definitely taking a step in the right direction. So let's go ahead and do some comparisons. Looks like the Megos are generally going to be around all the same size, unless they change the Part 6 Jason or some of the other ones. And here he is next to the San Diego Comic-Con Freddy, and this is representing the Super Freddy. This was not actually played by Robert Englund, but the voice was. And you can see there's definitely a little bit of a size difference as far as like the overall body build. And again, you can kind of see the fabric on this older one a little bit thicker than the new Freddy. So definitely some improvements with this new one. Alright, so that's my review. Overall, I'm really happy with the way this came out. It's out of the packaging, this looks fantastic, especially next to these other two. You know, I think going forward, they really are getting better with these Mego styles. They're almost starting to look like the shrunken down Sideshow or Hot Toys figures at this point. For $30, I mean, you can't beat it. Hot Toys or Sideshow, you're talking $150 to $250 easy. So for $30, these are just a steal. So thanks for watching my review. And if you'd like to pick this one up, pick it up at FYE, any specialty stores. Toys R Us will have them soon, or online. And please subscribe to me, like this video, and if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments section. And thanks for viewing. Enjoy the slideshow after this review.